You have to free yourself of all boundaries.
No, what you have to do, what I'm thinking
I'm
is...
just telling you.
The way I interpret is, you have to have some background knowledge and some gedolim that you could lift up. Because that lyric...
Just the Kedusha.
Right, it's just the Kedusha. Because that lyric comes straight out of Tin Pan Alley.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
I don't know what Tin Pan Alley is.
No, we're doing
That was the Jewish guys used to sit around and
We're live.
way down upon the Swanee River. They were all Jewish guys who wrote those mammoths and all that stuff.
Irving Caesar was one.
Huh?
Who wrote Swanee.
We on?
If the mikvah was a mashka and I was a duck, I'd swim to the bottom and drink my way up. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now, or must I hesitate? But the mikvah's not a mashka and I'm not a duck. I swam to the bottom, I was swimming up. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now, or must I hesitate? Oh, merciful King, all the work is done. Don't you think it's time we could have some fun? Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now, or must I hesitate? Oh, baby, stay, I ain't lying. The people down here, they sick and they dying. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now, or must I hesitate? Oh, the angels in the heaven, the fish in the sea, they're asking for forgiveness for you and for me. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now, or must I hesitate? Oh, come on, children, gonna have some fun. You ain't seen nothing like the Holy One. Tell me how long do I have to wait? Can I get Mashiach now, or must I hesitate? Do I get Mashiach now, or must I hesitate?
Only one thing I can say is, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey kids, what time is it?
Time for Gezintahait Street.
It is time for Gezintahait Street. And the story for tonight is Where Are You? That's the name of the story. Where are you? The previous Rebbe told a story that he heard from his father, the Rebbe Hershel, about the Alter Rebbe. It took place when the Alter Rebbe, who just got out of jail yesterday and the day before, was being interrogated under the charge of capital offense. He was addressed, capital offense means they're going to hang him. One of the interrogators was a high government official who was very learned in Torah and the ways of Judaism. He asked the Alter Rebbe why Hashem called to Adam, and he asked, where are you? After all, the interrogator said, of course Hashem knew exactly where Adam was. Why does he ask him, where are you? The Alter Rebbe answered that Rashi had already given the answer to that question. The interrogator said, I know what Rashi said, I want to know what your explanation is. A Rebbe tells us there is another account of this story which reveals a new detail. The Alter Rebbe said in his answer to this interrogator that when a person reaches a certain age, he's asked, where are you? And it was the exact age of the interrogator. The previous Rebbe concluded the story by adding that the question of the interrogator and the answer of the Alter Rebbe saved the Alter Rebbe's life. I don't think we heard the answer yet. He felt such exquisite pleasure from putting himself in danger to defend the Torah of the Baal Shem Tov and the Magid that his soul was ready to leave his body. But when he reminded himself that Hashem asks each person, where are you? Do you know why you're here in the world? Have you completed your mission? He understood that his soul needed to stay in his body to allow him to accomplish his designated holy task. Every story told by a Rebbe, a faithful shepherd, especially a story by a Rebbe about a Rebbe, contains a teaching for us, for his flock, and through them to the rest of the Jewish nation and the world. Each person has to take note of the question Hashem asks. Hashem asks his soul, and through it, his body and animal soul, where are you? Hashem asks each one of us, where are you? It's asked of each person, especially a Jewish person, from the biggest of the big to the smallest of the small, each according to who he is and what level he's on. One is asked where he is to wake him from the state of allowing his soul to expire in ecstasy, like the sons of Aaron, who brought a fire before Hashem and were themselves consumed. The question is asked to help him accomplish his mission of making this world a dwelling place for Hashem. So everybody who's hearing the story has to know it's a personal story and a personal question Hashem is asking you, and he's asking me all the time. He's asking all of us, have you accomplished your mission? Where are you in your process of accomplishing it? Another one is asked, where are you? To remind him not to be lost in the coarse pleasures of this world, to the point where he loses sight of his privilege and responsibility to serve Hashem through prayer and Torah and mitzvah. And the only difference between these two kinds of people is the intent of the question. But we're all being asked continuously, where are you? And that question helps us fulfill our true reason d'etre, our mission of serving Hashem. And being asked the question and hearing it sincerely gives us strength to accomplish the mission Hashem intended and accomplish it happily and wholeheartedly. Very deep and powerful story. Take it to heart. Where are you?
Divine Mashiach now.
Okay, Gimel Aleph, do you know where you are?
I'm right here.
That's right. That's right.
Peace.
this. You have a story?
Yeah, I have a story.
Let me hear that story.
He's going to tell a story now, Chassidus story.
So it was a story that I read about the Alter Rebbe and the Mitzvah Rebbe. At one time, it was the custom back then that people would couples wouldn't move out on their own at first. So the Mitzvah Rebbe was still living in the Alter Rebbe's house when he was married and had children already. And one night, the Mitzvah Rebbe was studying like the highest Chassidus and very, the highest Pnimis Torah. And the Alter Rebbe had to go and take care of his child because he couldn't hear his child screaming. And he went and told the Mitzvah Rebbe, you should never be so focused on anything that you can't hear the cries of a child. So that's really a good lesson that you should learn, that even for the best of reasons, never shut your heart down.
I'll always hear the cry of a child. Okay, and now for Chassidus. A person once asked the previous Rebbe, what is the avodah, what is the divine service, the toil of Chassidus? And how does one prepare himself to be a fitting vessel for that service? And the Rebbe answered him with the following letter. Now the substance of this letter is the explanation of what the Alter Rebbe told his grandson, the Tzemach Tzedek, that the whole idea of Chassidus is to change the nature of the midis, of the emotive attributes. Turn them from being self-serving to being God-serving. What does it mean to serve God puri in das? Betzalel. What does it mean to serve Hashem puri in das?
Fully?
Puri in das.
Poor,
From
deficient,
self-serving to God-serving, puri in das.
Poor and das?
Yeah.
deficient. In
No, the next thing, I was saying, my understanding.
Well,
Pur
then
in
for sure
das.
mine is. So I'm double pur in das. All who want to come close and be holy and serving Hashem.
My understanding is, what do you mean to change the nature?
Yeah.
Our nature of our attributes is to be self-serving. And we want to change our nature to serve Hashem.
Meaning not just that we serve Him, but we change our nature to serve, that the nature turns into serving.
Yeah, that's the service. Okay. That's what I think. So I said a guy pouring dust. That's what I think it means.
All who want to come close and be holy and serving Hashem are told that this service must be founded on truth, emes. One must look at himself and he must look at the world honestly without self-deception. Not self-deception to the good and not self-deception to the bad. Now besides that foundation of truth, the main thing of the service, of the Avodah, is that it has to be done in an organized, systematic way, step by step. Physical work has three categories. Right? There's three categories of doing physical work. Carrying, right, schlepping stuff, craftsmanship, and design. And in the spiritual Avodah also has these three different types of toil. Now the Rebbe will tell us what is it that we are, because we're talking about shliach and we're talking about building and designing, about crafting and designing. So what is it that we are building exactly? And this Avodah that the Rebbe will now tell us. Building the sanctuary, right? Building a Beis HaMikdash is a general mitzvah in which everyone must participate. Like it says in the Torah, make me a sanctuary and I will dwell in them. Right? Which in this Hebrew it doesn't say I will dwell in it says in them. And this indicates that He will dwell within each one of us, within every single Jew. Now this means that everyone needs to make a sanctuary. It's not just you make the sanctuary in the Beis HaMikdash, but everybody needs to make a sanctuary, a dwelling place for Hashem inside his own heart. And building this sanctuary necessitates on a spiritual level the three kinds of labor that we mentioned: schlepping, crafting, and designing. Right? If you want to build a sanctuary, you're going to have to schlep, you're going to have to craft, and you'll have to design. A smart person will realize that these three categories of work allude to our labor on the garments of the soul, the thought, speech, and action, right? It's the three garments of the soul, is the thought, the speech, and the action. That the soul expresses itself through these things. But before we start this work, which is the reason for the soul's descent, right? In order, why is Hashem also, why are we making it? Because the soul comes down here on this world to make a dwelling place for Hashem. So before that, the labor must be organized according to a systematic plan. Each step in its own place and without fooling oneself. Right? To not think that he is more far along than what he really is. For example, a person whose natural character is good traits, naturally kind, he might think that he has no work to do in that area. Why? Because look, I'm naturally that kind. Me, I have to work on something else. I have to work on being more angry and race. But to work on being more kind, I don't have to because I'm a kind person. Every person has good and bad in his nature and the habits of his life. He has superior qualities and he has negative qualities. The first cautionary step is not to fool oneself, meaning not to recognize only his good points, and not to only recognize his bad points where he's lacking. A one-sided inventory of one's character and actions will not lead to success in the service of Hashem, or for that matter, in anything else. This is the beautiful thing about Chassidus. It's not just telling you it's telling you how to succeed in serving God. At the same time, it's telling you how to succeed in everything. You know, if you have a business and you take an inventory that's not truthful, you fool yourself like you have your financial statement is better than it is. First of all, that's fraud. You might go to jail. But second of all, your business is not going to do so good if you fool yourself like this. And the same the other way, if you're not recognizing the good points you have. Every craftsman, before starting the work of fixing any vessel, what does he do first? First, he checks out every component carefully to see which parts need strengthening or cleaning and which parts need to be replaced. Then, he chooses the appropriate tools that need to repair this implement. And only then can he begin the actual work, right? Because what I'm going to do, for example, this thing needs to be polished. I will polish it with this hammer. Not going to go good. So first he has to look at what's needed and plan out the tools and how he's going to do it, and then he can start the work itself. First he removes the broken parts that need to be replaced. Then afterwards only he works on the parts that need to be fixed, that need to be cleaned. All this work is done carefully, step by step, so that the vessel will end up strong and fitting for use. So too on a spiritual level, in fixing our character traits, our midas, we start by looking at ourselves well. Why? To recognize our true standing in good traits and bad traits. And we should know which ones, whether it's intellectual traits or emotional, or the garments of thought and speech and action, what needs cleaning, what needs fixing, what needs to be changed, replaced altogether for new ones. Right? This spark plug is bad, like there's no polishing it anymore. The spark plug is done. It's not working anymore. Got to replace this spark plug.
Maybe we should have a nigger.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you see a better place to start.
Let me see. I'm looking. Yeah, I think it's in a second.
Okay.
There are certain characteristics like anger or arrogance which do not necessitate the Hasidic inner service, but can be dealt with through Musar, right? Through other ways of realizing how bad these bad traits are and how good is the good. The Rambam says that the superiority of a man is that he stands far from bad and close to good, meaning he can recognize these things. Next, in a moment after this niggin, we will begin explaining the Hasidic service to a person that is everything that is understood by human intellect. We're going to go all the way to the very edge of what can be understood.
They should write a song about a person who does not sin and is happy, and he is not happy.
Well, he's going to tell you about one like that. Not that he's not happy, but he has no
He's not
life,
satisfied.
no
He's
life and
fulfilled.
enthusiasm.
Right.
Okay. That one was with us.
One from the books. So now, the beginning. Heading out better.
Huh?
Heading out better. Good, sei gewünscht. This is a good endeavor. Sei gewünscht. Good night, brother. So the beginning of explaining the Hasidic service to a person is that everything that is understood by human intellect to be good is not yet true good, right? Because if the human mind can understand it, it's not true good. For example, if a person prays 3 times a day, the person prays 3 times a day and learns Torah as much as time allows, and does all and follows all the mitzvahs correctly. then he has not yet accomplished the godly intention in the descent of his soul into a body.
Well, I just want to make sure there's a guy who prays 3 times a day. He learns as much Torah as he possibly can.
Yeah.
He does all the mitzvahs correctly.
Yeah.
And he has not yet
Accomplished the godly intention of why Hashem took his soul and put it down here on this earth in the body.
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
So does everybody have to be happy? Is that?
No, he didn't say you have to be. He just said this is this kind of guy. He hasn't accomplished what he's supposed to.
You know, like there was a guy who killed polio, right? I have yet to see.
He was from
Pittsburgh.
Hill. Yeah.
Really? Anyway, was he in Falk or whatever?
Yeah,
Salk. Salk. Anyway, I have yet to hear anybody ask, wait, he killed polio, but was he happy? Like, who cares? He killed polio. I don't know he was happy, he wasn't happy. He did something good. Maybe he wasn't happy, but he did a good thing. At the end of the day, once you leave this earth, you're not happy, you're not sad, you're not, you know, these emotions that you feel in your physical heart.
Is happiness?
They go with your body.
Are you trying to say, Gimel, that happiness is sort of like an entitlement?
I learned this a long time ago from the small wonder of puppet theater. True happiness is helping another Jew. That's what I learned.
Oh, I thought it's a cow kept Shabbos.
Yeah, well, it's from the same video. Yeah, the two is when you help another Jew. Anyway, the beginning of the service called in Chassidus Hasidic Aveda, is to bring inner light and vitality into one's entire being. The complete person we mentioned before, right, who does all these things, is only a fitting vessel. But being just a vessel is not good enough. Into this vessel we must bring spiritual light and life. Like a healthy body is a good vessel, but it needs a soul to animate all of its powers, each limb with its own purpose. Like you'll see a corpse, you'll say, what's the problem? It's a healthy corpse. Yo, but it's not a corpse. He's not alive. Who cares he's healthy? What do you mean it's healthy?
So the Hasidic service will help me to achieve light and life in all of my limbs.
And then I'll be happy?
I don't know about this happy thing. I don't know.
Hashem
searching for something.
Hashem formed man from
The goal is that God should be happy, not that you should be happy.
I have to have some semblance of happiness to know that God's happy. Let me give
that, no, he's right. And that is your happiness. The fact that God gets nachas from you.
Let me give you an example. Okay, somebody told me, oh, you made your wife so happy. He didn't bother to tell me, oh, but was you happy? He knows if I made my wife happy, so at least I wasn't too miserable. Okay? So, in other words, if you make Hashem happy, then it will be happiness and joy for everybody. Don't worry about it.
So I have false expectations when it comes to happiness.
Well, happiness after all is, do you know what happiness is? It's happiness is where you are now minus any expectations. That's what happiness is. The second you have expectations that are different than where you are now, you're not happy. Anyway, Hashem formed a man from oith, right? From doit. The body in physical terms and the kelim on a spiritual level, right? The body, right, is physically, and upstairs is vessels. The vessels on the spiritual level. And then he breathed a living soul into him. So too, bringing inner light and life into ourselves through our godly service is the beginning of the Avodah of Chassidus. The how and the why of this service is illustrated by a story of the Tzemach Tzedek, who was told by his grandfather, the Alter Rebbe, that the whole idea of Chassidus, like we said before, is to change the nature of the emotive attributes. A person has 3 souls: a godly soul, an intellectual soul, and a natural soul, an animal soul. Each one of these souls, they are complete with its own 10 powers. Right? The 3 intellect and the 7 emotions. The natural soul is the animal soul. Since its whole leaning and thoughts are earthly and animalistic, and its whole intellect is involved only in self, right? Only in gratifying itself. It rationalizes its own superiority, even in falsehood, to justify itself in explaining to itself, as well as to others, how selfish and destructive behavior is really benign activity. What, they say, what's the big deal? We're not hurting anybody. Right? This is the classic statement of people who are hurting somebody, right?
I think it's better to be self-destructive than it is to be destructive to another person.
Well, the problem is they're being destructive or they're turning themselves, but they're being destructive to the world.
It's called rationalization.
Yeah, rationalization, yeah.
You spin what you do so that you can explain
Like
it
you are-
as
they
good,
will
even
call,
if it's bad.
Every person is his animal soul is his spin doctor. The emotive characteristics of this animal soul is what we know as the evil impulse, the Yetzer Hara. Right? We say that the evil impulse in a person is making him do foolish things. What we're talking about is the emotive characteristics in this animal soul. Therefore, this animal soul, which by the way, this is a great thing to know, because you know how very often people ask, wait, I don't understand, but what is the Yetzer Hara? Well, here you have it. The Yetzer Hara is the emotive attributes of the animal soul. Therefore, the animal soul cannot be fixed or cleaned. Right? Like we said, the craftsman has to first figure out what he can fix and what he can clean.
And which parts need to be changed.
Yeah.
So this one has to be
This
changed.
got to be changed.
Yeah.
But since this operation needs special tools, like we said, he has to set the right tools first. And these tools are not readily available. It is better to postpone this difficult job for a more propitious time when we have acquired the appropriate tools, right? There's no point trying to polish it with that hammer. You say, but wait a second, I can't find the shmatis, so I'm just going to polish it. No point in doing that. You're going to bust it with the hammer. You got to have the right tool for the right thing. So we wait until we have the tools that we can be able to replace it. In the meantime, right, that's called also ishapcha in Chassidus. Right, when we actually replace it, we change it over. In the meantime, until we can do this, we can take away its bad effect by pushing it away. Iskafya. We push it away, and by breaking it. Meaning breaking its will. Bitzalel. So it seems to me, I'm wondering, it seems that you had maybe a doubt if this is the same as Iskafya and Ishapcha.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought it was. It's not a doubt, but it didn't say it.
Because I know, I thought maybe I was missing something. Because
In the
I thought
previous,
about it,
in the previous Rebbe's letter, it didn't say about his
Yeah.
and that's what I thought it probably is.
Okay. I came accidentally to the same conclusion. So I guess it sounds right.
Aleph, great minds think alike.
This breaking is not, however, considered part of the Hasidic Aveda, because real service entails fixing and not breaking. Like the famous story with the Alter Rebbe. They told the Tzemach Tzedek, they overtold the story of someone gave him a snuff box. And the Alter Rebbe was not in the physical things. So he said he broke the snuff box and used the cover as a mirror for his film. And the Tzemach Tzedek says, no, you're saying this story wrong. He didn't break it. It's not possible. Because the Alter Rebbe wasn't in the breaking stuff, he was in the fixing stuff. So he fixed it into a mirror for his film, not he broke it. So this is the same idea that the breaking is not considered part of the Hasidic Aveda. Why? Because real Hasidic service is we don't break, our Chassid fixes.
Maybe snuff wasn't his thing.
Well, what he said was, I have one limb that's not into physical pleasure, and you want me to put that limb into physical pleasure? He meant his nose.
His nose.
But he already smoked the pipe, so maybe maybe he just wasn't into snuff.
No, but the
What?
point was his nose versus his mouth.
No.
But yeah, the mouth already has
Yeah.
desire for sure.
In fact, that was his point. Was my mouth I use for the and he used for eating in the whole. Anyways, like a craftsman. But until we are in a position to accomplish what we need to do to break its bad effect, or rather to fix its bad effect.
To change it.
Yeah.
To get rid of it and change it.
Yeah, and to change it entails employing strength. Sometimes you have to apply force to fix something, to break something. Like a craftsman who breaks off broken parts of a vessel, we can break off our natural animal desires by closing our mouth from speaking what it desires, by closing our ears from hearing its blandishments, and closing our eyes from looking at its temptations.
Speak no evil,
Yeah. How about the
hear no evil, and see no
See
evil.
no evil.
ringing a bell.
That's a good kid over there, huh?
Oh,
At that song, all of a sudden he had the same chord progression and the same. And he shot right into it. Very nice. The first service, right? The avodah of perfecting ourselves is what? Is to change the nature of the intermediate soul, the intellectual soul, the nefesh hasichli. Just as a craftsman chooses appropriate tools for each repair, so too in our service of perfecting ourselves requires the appropriate tools. And like a craftsman, we first make a detailed and honest accounting of where we stand. The tools to accomplish the godly service are the teaching of the Divrei Elokim Chaim, the words of the living God, the teachings of Chassidus. Whether the particular teaching brings one to contemplate a godly topic and understand it so well that it's absorbed in the physical brain, or a teaching which brings one more directly to feeling love and fear of Hashem in the heart, right? Avodas hameichin or avodas halev, whether it's a service on the brain or in the heart, to understanding the teaching, but they both come about how? From learning Chassidus. The intellectual soul, the nefesh hasichli, and the godly soul, the nefesh halaki, they each have emotive and intellectual attributes, right? All the souls have 10 attributes, 3 intellect, 7 emotions. But the attributes of each one of these souls are opposite in nature. The nature of the attributes of the intellectual soul, human intellect, is to go after what is lower than it engaging with the world.
I think it's lower than it, comma.
Lower than it. It wants to go lower than itself.
Engaging in the world. That's the lower than itself.
It wants to go, basically, it's drawn, he's saying it's drawn to the nefesh
The worldly stuff.
Essentially, it's drawn.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. But it goes to worldly stuff.
Yeah. Because in
But
theory, in other words, in theory, the nefesh hasichlis is the one that has a little nefesh Abraham standing on its one shoulder, and the little nefesh Elokis standing on its other shoulder, and the one says, "Let's do something for us." Another one says, "Wait a second, let's do something for Eibishter."
Right. So I think the point he wants to make is that even when the rational soul goes for a good thing,
Yeah. It's a good thing. That's its focus is looking to engage in the world.
to fulfill itself.
The nature of the godly soul, on the other hand, is to get what is higher than it, to be nullified in godliness. The service of changing the nature of the emotive attributes is to work on both souls. First, to change the nature of the attributes of the intellectual soul, which comprise the human intellect, even though it does not realize that a good thing is good with human intellect, and does not
So
choose
it
good.
does realize.
It does realize. But it realizes what's the
In
problem.
other words, it
realizes
realizes
only with the human
It
intellect.
realizes that health food is good.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's going to be healthy and live long. But you want to change that
Yeah.
so that he wants to eat healthy to serve Hashem so he can live a
So
long
meaning we recognize his good, but he only recognizes human good.
Yeah.
And we want him to recognize a godly good.
Yeah.
Something like this, Pitzali.
Yeah, he wants to eat healthy because it's to serve
Yeah.
God in a healthy way.
Yeah.
So that's changing his
So he's
nature.
still using logic, but he's using it in a way to save Hashem.
Yeah.
And the change in the nature of the godly soul,
But think about
yeah,
it. We have to change the nature of the godly soul.
that's quite a
That's-
finish, no? That's a very pioneering thought right there,
Yeah.
Pitzali.
Why?
Yeah. Well, like what? To change the godly soul? Why would we do that? Is to settle it in the vessels of the mitzvahs. Because the godly soul just wants to be nullified in Hashem. But wait, but that's not what Hashem needs from you. What Hashem needs from you is to come down and become settled in the world and do mitzvahs with the stuff down here. the superiority of the shuv over the ratzu. There has to be the returning over the running. Instead of running, go higher level, wait. Now you got to bring light back down here because that is the ultimate purpose. This is the whole man, the whole purpose of man. The very beginning of Avodah is fixing our actions. The actions of all of the attributes in particular. You want to run deep right here? Go ahead. No?
So, for example,
Yeah. So the
action
yeah.
has an intellect of action. The intellect of action is how do I accomplish this action? How do I communicate with these people? I have to get a guitar. So your intellect tells you how you accomplish an action, and that's called the intellect of action.
Yeah. Meaning, so each one of the 10 has 10.
So there's going to be, in intellect, there's going to be action of intellect. And he's going to explain.
Right, so there'll be then, and so there'll be an action of intellect, and then there'll be a kindness of intellect,
Yeah, oh, yeah,
and an intellect
sure.
of kindness, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
So each one of the 10 have 10 within it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the intellect also has a level of called action of intellect, which means the accomplishment, because in action, understanding God in action. Actually understanding God. Understanding the idea clearly. For example, when one learns a discourse about I am Hashem, I do not change, and he learns it in detail, going over the explanation several times, one after the other, until he finally understands it clearly, this is the level of action of intellect. This example is an intellect. And even though it has some connection to an impulse for love and fear, but in general it is an intellectual exercise in understanding through which his brain and his understanding become more refined, more clarified, and through this his understanding of godliness is enhanced. So too, using intellect to pursue an arousal of love and fear in godly service, even though the discourse which arouses the heart contains great wisdom and deep understanding, nevertheless it pertains to the heart. Meaning, the question is like this: are you using the emotions and the action to understand? Then it's the emotions and actions of the intellect. On the other hand, if I'm using the intellect in order to achieve a matter of the heart, then it's intellect of emotions. Right? Because now this pertains to the heart and is called Avedus Halev, Aveda of the heart. And when the heart becomes pure and refined, through this process, the love and the fear automatically become greater. Now, in regard to action of the garments of the soul, the action of thought, speech and action, what's the Aveda there is to go over the explanation for a few hours until it's known so well that you can recite it Baal Peh by heart. But the beginning of all service, the punchline, are you ready? But the beginning of all service, the beginning of all Aveda, is to accepting the yoke of service. Just like physical work, which success comes to how? Through hard work. So too in the spiritual service, when one accepts the yoke of the hard work, and all who come to be purified, they are helped by Hashem to choose life, and through good we want Mashiach now. What was the after?
Shabbos and Yom Tov nights.
Oh, let's do it.
How's it go?
Yeah.